African black refugees sleeping on the ground, allowed to come to Canada, but welcomed by the streets, allowed to come to this great country, but allowed to sleep on the streets. This is deplorable, it's unacceptable, and we know that this is not who we are. So why we're here today is to remind all of us that we can do better, and we are a country that focuses on inclusivity, on diversity, and understands that all of us, we all bring a certain beauty, uniqueness, power, and everything else to make this country great. So at this point, we would like to have our senior elders have their say in terms of what they feel, their message to us, and how we can do better. The governments, they can continue their conversations, but in the meantime, what are we doing for the people who are suffering and they're on the streets, sleeping in rain on the streets? We need to do something for them. So we are saying, while they have the talking, while they have the discussion, we need to get them off the streets. And that's why we're here. We need to get them off the streets today. So I would like now to turn the mic over to our incredible, iconic trailblazer, Jean Augustine, the first Black member of Parliament and the woman responsible for creating Black History Month. I want to say put your hands together, but you can put your hands together. But let's welcome and give the mic over to our elder trailblazer, Jean Augustine.
So Jean, right in front of the mics for me, okay? Nice and loud, please. Nice and
I
loud.
need you to go back just a little. Just go back a little.
Thank you, Gwen. I am so troubled. I am so troubled about the scene here. I'm so troubled by what I've seen over the last few weeks. I'm so troubled by what I've heard. This is not the Canada that we're building. This is not the Canada that speaks about diversity. This is not the Canada that speaks about respect for each other. This is not the Canada that get around tables to talk about the situation of refugees, the situation of people around the world who need Canadian help, Canadian assistance, and that we have a country where everyone is welcome and everyone is given an opportunity to prosper, an opportunity to reach their full potential, an opportunity to be and to have life a bit better than what they're leaving behind. I think it's important for us not to sit back. It's important for us not to allow this to happen. I've passed a few times and cars are driving by to look at the situation. I've had friends in international places who've seen pictures and have heard of the situation here and are asking, what is going on in Canada? What is going on in this city? I was a minister for multiculturalism. I was a minister for the status of women and the situation of women in this group, the situation of women who cannot find a place that they could be comforted as they work through different processes. I'm not here to talk about whose responsibility, whose money, whose funding. I'm here to say that as Torontonians, as Canadians, as Ontarians, we need to do better than this.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jean. Thank you very much. So let me get you in here. If you could move over a little bit. So now we'd like to hear from one of our other icons and trailblazers, Zanina Conde. She was the first Black member of provincial parliament, and she was also the first Black cabinet minister. Her body of work is so impressive. And again, these are people who have dedicated not just 1 decade, not 2 decades, not 3 decades, not 4 decades, 5 decades, 6 decades of work to help to develop this country into the beautiful garden of all kinds of people representing all communities. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Zanina Conde.
Well, good morning. I have to tell you that when I came down to see this, I was shocked. We have been listening for months about fires, about storms from every part of Canada and beyond. And immediately those people are taken into municipal buildings or into schools or into centers somewhere. And we have been hearing about refugees who have been coming to Canada. And I know from the friends that I've made that some of our Ukrainians who have been here have been taken into centers. And our people are on the street. Now, I am not an immigrant. I was born in this country, in this city, of immigrant parents. And we have always supported each other in being fair and expecting for each other what we have for ourselves and extending our gifts so that others could profit from them. And yet we have black people, let me be clear, black people sleeping on the street, women trying to cover themselves adequately while they sleep. And I must tell you, I am offended. This is not the Canada that I went to school and learned with. This is not the Canada that I taught hundreds and hundreds of children to be able to contribute to. This is not the Canada that I went to the University of Toronto and taught teachers how to teach so that they could make them welcome. This is not that Canada. And I want, no. I insist that my tax dollars be spent to give equal service to my people. And once again, I have to talk about my people in a country where I've been raised, in a city where I've been raised living with Italians and Jews and Ukrainians and white people and black people and people from all parts of this world. We have allowed my people to be so disrespected. I will not stop talking about this. I will not rest until they get equity. Never.
Thank you.
So here is the other interesting thing. We are interested in getting these our beautiful brothers and sisters off the streets today.
We want Canadian
We want
for them now.
We want them off the streets today. All they're asking for in this great country, in this great city, is some place where all of them can be together while the governments talk and negotiate and do whatever it is. They should not be on the streets any longer. We put out an ask to this gentleman, which I'm sure all of you know of. Come here, Mohammed. We said, he brought food yesterday, which was beautiful. We love your food. But I said, thank you for what you're doing in terms of feeding our community. But what we really need is a place where they could lay their heads, is a place where there's shelter from the rain and the cold, is a place where they can be temporarily, at least until the governments, they figure out what they want. And I asked you, are you prepared? Are you okay to pay for that? And what did you say?
I said we will for sure.
Okay, so
And,
you come
we will
here
fund
and
it.
tell us, take the mic, and this is what we talk about, Canadians. Take the mic